So settle in and allow everything that feels like tension to just drop down into the earth. And just simply notice what's here. There's all the senses, all the thoughts, all the emotions. And then within that, below that, the base of all that is being. And then feel that being and feel into the source of that being. As you feel the source of that being, you feel this spark of aliveness, this spark of energy. Feel that concentrated aliveness. And then just feel, what does this spark emerge from? This spark emerging from this alive potential, this spacious potential, this vast nothing but potential. And as you know yourself as this vast potential, for how else could you sense it but that it isn't just part of your being, right? This is the unchanging what we are. As you know this vast nothing potential, is there any problem? What is problem? Problem is a label. This is before labels. This that we are, way before any labels. Out of this emerges all the happenings. The happenings arrive and complete and arrive and complete and arrive and complete, and amazingly, this arriving and completing ends up with some sort of a thread, apparently. There's no problem. And just allow your whole being to just notice this potential and this generator of aliveness. There is no problem. What is problem? A label. An attempt at categorizing. That's it. An attempt at categorizing. There is no problem. There's a moment arising and then a new moment arising that is not the same. And then a new moment arising that is not the same. And then a new moment arising that is not the same. And there is this being that flows in experience, and then experience, and then experience, each different. And here there's an apparent connection, and here there's apparent silence. And here there's apparent connection, and here there's apparent silence. And there is no problem. And here there is much of something, and here there's very little or none of something. And there is no problem. And there is a rising of desire that moves the somethings around. And there is a nothing. And there is a something. And it's all so intermingled, so interconnected. There really can't be a particular end point to anything. There's no particular boundary, there's no particular edge without imposing a label. It's a dance, it's a flow, it's a current, a single fabric interwoven. And there is the vast potential, what we are. And here there is a connection, and here there is a silence. And there is no problem. And allow the mind to bring up what it thinks is a problem. Allow the mind to bring up what it thinks is a problem. Because the mind wants a job, it wants to solve something. And then before labeling, just see, what is there? A something, a nothing, a movement, a stillness, a nature that discovers, and a nature that can wait. Just notice what the mind wants to label a problem is simply a moment in a flow of constant change. A moment in a flow. That labeler, that problem maker is just a point of view of that. Just feel this potential erupting as a movement. Of movement where there's somethings and there's space. Of movement where there's noise and where there's quiet. A movement where there's heat and where there's coldness. And nothing is the same except for this pure potential. This intelligent aliveness just keeps changing, evolving, erupting, dynamic, dynamic, dynamic. What was the last moment will not be the same in the next moment. Yeah, the mind has its potential, its propensity to label. The mind likes to have a problem. It likes to have a job. But there's no problem that exists. There is nothing that is a problem. There is a label of problem placed upon situations, but there is no problem. There's dynamism. Feel that nature that moves, that connects, that creates, that settles down, that waits. There's connection and there's silence. There's something and there's space. All danced together. And nowhere is there a problem. Just notice. Notice that which continues unchanged this moment and the next moment and the next moment. This root, nothing, everything. It's totally unthreatened by the mind's labels. Totally unthreatened by the mind trying to label a problem or put in the dividing lines. Totally unthreatened by the mind doing any of that. That's just a shadow. All the mind's labels are just a shadow of that. The inner wisdom arises in its perfect timing. The inner wisdom arises in its perfect timing. There's no problem. There is what is. And there's this immense potential that savors its moment-to-moment erupting. The immense potential savoring the moment-to-moment erupting. And there's the connection, and there's the silence, and there's the something, and there's the emptiness. And there is no problem. There is nothing to solve. There is nothing to fix. There is nowhere to arrive. This that we are, this single current of aliveness erupting from this pure potential nothing. Know it in every cell. Allow the efforting to be seen through. The erupting moves. Try not moving for a couple days. The erupting moves. The erupting moves. No effort is needed. The erupting moves. Suddenly it's apparently time to breathe. Apparently time to go to the bathroom. Apparently time to eat. Apparently time to sleep. The erupting moves. The wisdom arrives. No effort needed. No problem to solve. It's natural. So natural. Life is natural. What we are is natural. We don't have to push the river. Natural. Natural. our nature's infinite potential, natural. Let that be a marinade that just permeates all of this thinking, feeling, being. Just let the whole mind body system recognize what is its nature. This intelligent movement, this dynamic flow. Before any label such as problem, before any concepts, any divisions, there is no problem. What we are is this vast, full, dynamic, completely integrated, arising out of nothing, the nothing itself. Timeless, effortless, unharmable, whole, innately whole. And all that comes forth, whether it may look like parts or look like mistakes, no, it's all in this fabric. There is no problem. Perfectly, it draws in what is needed, lets go of what is not. Perfectly draws in assistance as needed, perfectly flows into assistance as called. Perfectly. There is no problem. There is the dance of infinite potential, weaving, flowing, undulating, with this root that is unchanged, this core intelligence that has no need to pre-plan, an intelligence that arises in each moment. Enough right now. Enough right now. Enough right now. No problem. All that is needed comes in. All that is not needed goes out. All that is needed comes in. All that is not needed goes out. This being, this erupting from the pure potential, this timeless pure potential, is more than sufficient, is what we are. There's an innate wisdom. And without the mind's labeling, it's even clearer. The clarity and the wisdom before any labels. just simple, natural clarity. The clarity that knows what we are is timeless. And what we are is more than enough. So marinate in this and allow it to just flow into all your movement.